Hello, so question 1a, a function f is given by f of x equals 4x cubed minus 7x squared plus 2x minus 4. Find the gradient of the graph of the function at the point where x equals 2. Alright, so first of all, half of calculus is finding the gradient or the slope. So we're greeted with one of those problems first. Looking at the function, the highest power of x is to the power of 3. So I know that it is a cubic function. If we are to take the derivative of that, right, find the gradient function, I would expect a quadratic. The question is though asking the gradient at a certain x value. So there'll be one more step. Alright, so just looking at our formula book, under calculus, the first equation, d by dx of x to the power of n equals nx to the n minus 1. That is how we differentiate a polynomial term. So let's do that first. So the gradient function, right, or the derivative, so f prime of x, the first derivative, equals, we take the power, in this case 3, multiply it out the front, so 4 times 3 to give 12. X, instead of to the power of 3, we subtract 1 from that power. So 3 minus 1 gives 2. So that's the derivative of the first term. Now the second term, we take the power of 2, multiply it out the front, so we get minus 7 times 2, minus 14. X, instead of to the power of 2, it'll be to the power of 2 minus 1, which is just 1. Alright, and for mathematical notation, we don't actually need to write that 1 there. Plus, now 2x. To help you think of this one, you can imagine that 1 that I just removed from our term, you can imagine that that's there. So we take the 1, multiply it out the front, 2 times 1 gives 2. Now when we subtract 1 from the power, 1 minus 1 gives 0, and x to the power of 0 gives 1. So we're just left with plus 2. Or in other words, if we had a graph with the line y equals 2x, the gradient of that is 2, right, which we know from last year in maths. But it works with the rule as well. Alright, and finally the derivative of minus 4, again with if we plotted it, the gradient of a flat line is 0. So the gradient of a constant is 0. In other words, we don't even need to write that. Save your ink. Awesome. So far we've taken the derivative of f of x. Our next step is to find the gradient of this graph at x equals 2. So to do that, we can use our gradient function and substitute x equals 2. So the gradient when x equals 2 is equal to 12 2 squared minus 14 times 2 plus 2. So 12 times 4 minus 28 plus 2. 12 times 4 gives 48. Minus 28 gives 20, plus 2 gives 22. So that would be our final answer. And if we got that far, well done, we get achieved for that question.